Yo. Just happy to be here. My man Herb, I just saw that. I just noticed that on the intro. JT here, your host, guys. We're here going hard in the paint. This is episode, 3 now? Took a week off last week. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Little late Thanksgiving, but you know how that goes. Petty with us tonight, too, man. How we doing tonight, Petty? How we living, brother?
Man, living good after the last 2 nights of basketball.
Yeah, man. There's been some good games. Bama played great last night. We'll get to that North Carolina game. Herb, how we living tonight, brother?
Man, it's a good time, man. It's great to be an Alabama fan right now. So
nothing but the tie, baby. So, guys, we're gonna get let's get to our sponsors real quick. Petty, I'm gonna let you lead us off real quick with our main sponsor tonight. Talking about some limestone. Did I say that right? Is it limestone? Limestone.
They do sell lime. They do.
Limestone.
They do
sell lime, right?
They do have some limestone up there, but it's limestone.
Thought so.
Well, it's all we got on the production meetings.
Either way,
it's all good. It's all good. Hey, you know what goes harder than us going hard in the paint? That's putting some natural stone on your house. Nothing goes harder than that natural stone, and you get that natural stone at realrockstone.com. Let me tell you a little bit about limestone that keeps the lights on for us here at the Bama Standard. Have you ever dreamed of having beautiful natural stone in or around your home? Well, don't settle for subpar materials. Check out Limestone Company's selection of natural stone to meet all of your project needs. They are located in beautiful Aniana, Alabama, and are one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them today and tell them we sent you by using the promo code TheBamaStandard to receive 10% off your purchase. And give some love to Limestone as they always give us love here on the Bama Standard.
Yes, beautiful, Petty. Petty just hit that like a golden mic drop right there at the end, man. That was nice there. Herb, let the beautiful people know what they need to have, and I think I see one back there behind you.
You always see one back around me.
What do these people need to have, either in Coleman Coliseum, or whether you in Saban Field? What do they need to be? What do they need to have, man?
You got to have your title towel. This is the must-have item. Whether you're going to the Bama game, football game, basketball game, if you're taking in some salt, whatever you're doing, you got to show your support, show your love. You got to have a title towel. Yep. I always carry an extra one just to give to an unsuspecting fan whenever we're out. And I may have stolen one from a co-host, but we're not going to talk about that tonight.
So we got her out here being a good Samaritan. What's up, everybody in the comments? My wife's in there. Hey, y'all. Daniel Petty's
got Van.
What's up, everybody? Van in here.
Roderick.
My man. Okay, you got Keep in here. He said, who is Bama's MVP so far? We're going to come back to that. I like that. We're going to come back to that. We're going to kick off the show first, guys. We're going to recap kind of last week's tournament. What happened in that? Bama's so close to winning that. I'll kind of kick it off real quick, guys. Bama versus Houston. 5 guys have double-digit scoring. Mark Sears lead the way with 24 points and an OT win. If you watch the end of that game, these guys were basically leaning on each other because their legs were like spaghetti noodles, and everybody was out, man. Houston, the ball was so sloppy at one point in that OT, dude. It was I don't know, man. It was like, what is this? You could tell everybody was tired. You could tell that people were gassed, man, from playing the whole game. Herb, what was your thoughts on that? That was a good win, too. It's a good Houston win there. Neutral site, but how was that?
Yeah. So and Sears said that in his post-game interview. He was like, we looked over and we could tell those guys were tired going to overtime. You looked, the overtime score 7-2. That tells you like not a whole lot was going on. First off, there's 2 things with the Houston. Are they in the SEC? Because we're just gonna play them every year. Are they our new Auburn? Is this our new rival? I don't even get how the schedule works out. But for us, I love playing Houston because they are a defensive, physical team. And anytime we can win that game, that just kind of prepares us for, we all remember Tennessee last year when games kind of get mucked up and physical and we're not scoring as much. We need to play teams like Houston and win. So that I was proud of the guys. And I'm, cheating on my question here with Raj and the MVP. I'm thinking about Philon. I look at his score. I mean, one of your starters plays a terrible, terrible game, and you can still have the output that Alabama did. I just, man, that's a great game for them.
Yeah, and Phylon would be in that conversation for Bama MVPs right now, definitely. And Sears not playing the best and still playing good.
Yeah.
Not shoot. Well, I would not say not playing, but shooting wise from the arc. That their 3-line hadn't been as good as it previous years. I think it'll come back to the game. Will find them, man. You got to keep shooting. Van said, if it ain't UGK, I ain't talking about you. So we got to do. Yes, sir. UGK, shout out to Houston on that. I'm with that. Daniel Petty, man. How do you feel about that Houston game, man? It was an OT win. That was a good win. Ranked good win. How are we feeling about that one?
Look, I feel like playing Houston's like what other teams that aren't in the SEC feel like playing Bama and Georgia in football. Like, oh, hell, man, you're just playing. It's a physical game. But I think it's part of Oates' mastermind, man. Every season you see this pre-SEC schedule that's Gonzaga, Duke, Houston. Well, guess what? Houston plays, like you said, Herb, unlike any team in the country. Their defense, they're physical. Like you said, by overtime, we were gassed because we just played a damn football game. Well, guess what? There's a good chance you're going to run into Houston in that big dance at some point, and you're going to want to know that you can play that style of basketball. It is just Nate Oates being freaking brilliant in scheduling all these different teams that you're going to face when it really damn matters after the SEC grind. And it's just preparing this Alabama team for March right now. It's just playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. But you can prove, you want to win these games because it helps on the resume. It helps with RPI, all that. But if you lose it, it's not that big a deal. It's really more of a litmus test of your team. Well, shoot, this year you go past the litmus test, so it's just a bonus star on that resume right now. And again, it's just Oates being brilliant with scheduling right now, man. It is absolutely preparing this team for when the games matter the most against all kind of different basketball.
I agree, especially with the part you said about Nate Oates with the with how he's scheduling. He's doing this smartly. We're doing March Madness right now.
Oh, he's brilliant.
We're having a March Madness run right now. Getting this team ready right now. So when we have the real deal, it's like, hey, well, we've already went through it, guys. Boom. So that was a big win, guys. Also, we had a little bit of a what do they call them? Revenge games when you go against your old team. Rutgers coming to town right there. There was somebody with Cliff. They were kind of pairing that in there. Cliff played good too, man. But we also had 5 guys in double figure scoring in that one. Mark Sears, 24 points again. There's something about him with 24 points. We also shot 40% from the 3-line. That's the best we've shot since game 1. That is a really good shooting from the 3-line against the Rutgers right there. So that's something to look at right here. We're getting our groove back and shooting a little bit. Herb, I'll start with you on this one again. How are we feeling about the Rutgers game right here, man? Like I said, 40% from the 3-line, best we've had since game 1. Them boys got hot. Amori was banging down low on the boards too.
Can it really be a revenge game though if you left them though? That's kind of
Well, people were
that's more like rubbing it in your face.
People were painting it that way, kind of like I guess on the Rutgers side. I guess that was more on the.
I guess revenge if they kicked him to the curb, but I don't think they kicked him to the curb.
No,
he left. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just left. You don't kick a 7-foot guy to the curb. No. Herb, how are we feeling about this one now?
You mentioned the balance, and it's kind of just something I love from this team that you continue to see. It doesn't necessarily matter who's starting. The minutes are going to be there for everybody because you're looking at the bench and you're in, the low is 17 minutes, but you got 25 minutes, 20 minutes. Everybody in there is getting a chance to play. You've got the green light to shoot. Rutgers, let's be honest, it's an opponent I was like, okay, this is a game we should win. So it's a little closer than I like, but the guys are still active. The ball's moving around. I feel like this is still one of those games where they're still kind of figuring things out and they shot really well. Just wait till later in the season when they've got it fully figured out. Because I don't think, I don't feel like a 5-point victory over Rutgers is what's going to happen later on when we've got things figured out, man. I feel like this one should be close to like 15 or 20.
I agree. And I think last night showed a lot on that. We'll recap that in just a second though. But Petty, real quick, to touch base on that the Rutgers, we got to go too crazy into it. But I want you to also to lead us off into the Bama-Oregon game. So start us off on the Rutgers real quick and then lead us into how you felt about that. Losing by 2 to Oregon.
Yeah, just look, and hey, man, losses are going to happen. Oregon, again, is another team we're going to see in March. That's a good basketball team. That's a hell of a basketball coach. Look, I don't take that to heart too much. You want to win them all, but you're not going undefeated in basketball. Loss is loss. What I'm seeing, though, is the guard play starting to gel. Like Herb's talking about, I don't think this is near about a finished product. I mean, I think Filene's still finding his groove and niche with Sears. Holloway, who, kind of got pushed to the curb because he wasn't shooting as well at Auburn as they wanted him to. If he's putting down, and I don't want to jump ahead to North Carolina, but putting down 15 a night in that stroke, I think, but to go back to Rutgers, then what we saw into Oregon is this guard play is really, really starting to figure each other out. And as much as I think the big guys are what can take this team over to a national championship team,
Agreed.
The guard play is the engine. And if those guards are humming, that engine is going to – it's a thing of beauty.
I agree with you, especially speaking on Phylon, speaking on Mark Sears and how they
I love
both
Phylon, man.
How they both play together.
Sign me up. I'm in the Phylon fan club for that kid.
I am too.
There's a little twinkle in the eye when you watch that kid play. Like, he does some things with his body. Woo-hoo.
Yes,
he's twitchy, but also, man, he's freaky off the boards for me. That's what I like him to be, a guard. Mainly a point guard. That's his natural position, but he can play the two as well. But the man off the glass to me is good. Like when that ball hits the rim off the glass, like I feel like he's good enough to get it as Cliff is, because he's in the right place.
There's a controlled chaos in his body. It looks like he's about to go wild, but he keeps it. And I'm like, he's about to lose, and he doesn't. And I'm like, okay.
There's this twist, rebound catch, pull in.
Because when the last night, I think it was a steal, and he goes up, and it's like a 1-on-2, and I'm like, no, okay.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
that's fine.
Okay. It's when you play. It's like when you play in court basketball on Smile Sunday. You're like, hold up, bro. Oh, all right. You play.
Okay. I feel you.
Yeah. So man, I'm on that board too. Sears is good. Holloway, man, I'm gonna speak on that, man. The shots are falling for us here. He's playing good with us. Nate has found a way to use him. He is doing great. So I commend how Nate is using him. We need to continue doing that, especially with Trelly now being hurt. All prayers up to my boy. Hope he gets back good and gets back going on the court soon. I know it'll probably be a next year type thing. If he did, he'd be out the season, but that's going to allow some guys to get going. Also, they put in the what was the guy that was about to redshirt? They burned his red shirt last night. God, what was that? I cannot remember his name now.
Cheryl, is that what you're talking about?
No.
Or Mallet. I'm sorry, Mallet.
Mallet. Yes, Mallet. God, I slipped my brain. I've had it before, and it slipped my brain when I was thinking about it. Yes, so he had a nice shot. He had a nice corner pocket shot over there. Came down, found him on the edge. Boom, Mallet. Yes, right here, right. Boom, hits it. Perfect shot. So, that's something that's really good, too. We'll kind of transition to this next topic here. We're going to talk about last night, because that's what happened last night. Bama versus North Carolina. North Carolina, I need you right now to stand up and acknowledge Nate Oates as your governor, okay? Because that man is your daddy right now. BTA every time he on y'all, all right? It is BTA. Nate Oates has got this team ready to play. You look at that game last night. Mark Sears, 17 points, free throw line, layups, and threes. That's all around the board, guys. He also had some assists. He also was a little bit in the rebound game, you know what I'm saying? But as much as for what he can, the ball falls his way. But Mark Sears played really well last night. Solid ball. We talked about solid ball. We talked about the guards. Bama looked like they can play with anybody in the country last night, in my opinion. 3-0 versus North Carolina the last 3 times Bama has played them. Now, in the comments, he said them threes not like last year. I agree. But also, I don't want to be hot right now in December. I want us to be hot in end of February, early March. I want us to we'll be hitting 40%, 3-line. That's great. We can hit that 40% right now. That's going to be wonderful. So that'll be a good one there. North Carolina recap, Daniel Petty, hit us off here, and then we'll pass over to my man Herb. Last night, man, what did you see from the Tide?
everything that I was talking about before in perfect freaking form. It was just, man, that's poetry in motion. Watching Sears when he's scoring and facilitating the offense to the level he was doing and letting the guards work. When Grant Nelson becomes a luxury piece and not a glue piece that you're having to depend on, this offense just goes to a different level, because we hadn't really talked about Nelson. He's just become a guy that can, plug and play at that spot. It's just, look, man,
about 25 to 20, 26 points, assists, boards, rebounds every night. That's Nelson. Yeah. Combined, he's hitting it.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even talking about him, and he's that guy. That's how good this team is. And look, Clifford Amore's finding his spot, and he really, in this game, I saw him flashing. Not, and it's not a deal where you transferred and all the weight's on you to be the guy. There's all these other guys. And again, the guy right now, Sears, but we're talking about North Carolina and Chapel Hill. And before that game's over, you hear Alabama fans taking over the arena. Alabama, roll. And I'm like, holy, wait, we're in Chapel Hill, fellas. This ain't a Wednesday night at Sanford. This ain't, we're talking about one of the blue bloods of basketball. What we are.
This is what they do is basketball.
This is what we do in football. They do it in basketball. And Bama just went up there and puffed their chest and took over the whole damn stadium. And the game was over at halftime. And
agreed.
I want to get excited about that, because what happened was a result of what was on the court. And that's a team that, when this team is firing on all cylinders and those engines are running and Sears is facilitating and Nelson's just being Nelson and Amari is doing his thing at the rim, this team's not beatable. This team is the best team in college basketball. It's really a pretty thing. And again, we're just seeing Feiline find his niche in this system, in this offense. Like Herb said, I still don't think it's a finished product, but we saw it about as close as it can get up there in North Carolina when everything's clicking. And man, when it is, North Carolina would try to make a run. You're like, oh, here they come. They're going to do some North Carolina stuff. Crowd's going to get in it. Boom, 3, just dagger. And that's ice in the veins, man, because that is not an easy place to go in and shut up like Bama did. Because it just, oh man, I can't rave enough about what I saw last night. That was a thing of beauty.
I'm with you. I could keep babbling on about that game last night. So many different things, from the paint to the boards to the top of the line, free throw line. Herb, take us from here, brother. What's your thoughts on last night's game?
Well, to piggyback on one of his first, I think the thing about Nelson is if he's got to be maybe your second best player, maybe you're not getting as far as you want. But if you can slide him down to be your third and fourth, and like you said, be a glue guy, it's and a lot of guys they seem to take that as a is that an insult? You don't think I can be the second best player? You don't always have to be. If you can slide down there and be that guy, then we're perfectly fine with that. And I think that's the thing for Feiline. He's used to being the guy, and you can see that he defers to Sears a little bit. And I think they're still trying to find their space. But Sears, one of the biggest things for him, and I always say this, I think Sears is he's a shooter and not a scorer. And sometimes he doesn't get himself going. And in this game, you saw him get himself going in other ways. So now you see the ball fall through. Because scorers always say that, man, when I'm having a bad night, I need to get to the free throw line. I need to get a couple layups.
You need to get something in. Yeah.
And I think on his terrible shooting nights, he hasn't done that. And I think in this game, it was like, all right, let me get myself going. Let me get other guys going. And I felt like that was way better for him. When he's at his best, I feel like everybody else is at their best too as well.
Absolutely.
That's what I saw to start off this game.
A whole 1,010% right there, bro. To the fact of, and I'm going to loop back to what you said, Herb, on our first episode, actually. You talked about you want to see how these freshmen are going to play now that you're not the best player on the team. You're not just the guy. There's a lot of guys on the team. Yep. So that alludes back to what you just said right there with Sears, Feiline trying to figure that out. Both of them are guys, okay? But now we got to figure out how to make it work. And then you talked about moving Nelson back to your third, fourth guy. Depending on, takes a little bit of pressure off him too. Yeah. Also, last year my man was playing in a 5 when he normally plays in like a 3-4. You know, and I honestly
but also
could play it too.
He was also like our big transfer in. And so there was a lot more pressure
and
on.
we
We
didn't have
expected a
size.
lot from him last year.
Yeah.
This year, we're just kind of like, look, just do your regular stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we'll
And we're
figure
going
out
to be
everything
fine
around
because
you.
we've got this, right? And we haven't even talked about Holloway being in that. Like, you left a spot where you were not used correctly, right? You're coming off the bench here, and he looks perfectly happy. He's getting the minutes. He's getting the shots. He's kind of getting to see the flow of the game. And he's just, he's fit right in. So you're seeing a lot of stuff like that where, I mean, I love this team, man. And like I said, we're nowhere near where we're going to be.
I think Holloway, he needs a coach like Nate Oates, a shooter like that he needs, because shooters are going to hit slumps. It just is the way the game works. But when you're on a team that's going to, when you hit that slump, pull you off, it's hard to get back in it. You need that coach that says there is no slumps. Keep shooting, kid. And it's perfect for Holloway's game. I think it's going to be so beneficial for him. And you're already seeing his confidence grow. Again, he had 15 last night, hit 5-3. I mean, yeah, absolutely. He's putting like I said, as the third guard. Good God.
Yeah, that's
coming off the bench, but he's like, we've all seen that. You can get the minutes and the shots you want coming off the bench. It doesn't have, I say that because we've just seen too many folks where if I'm coming off the bench, I'm not dialed in. You know?
Yeah.
And then you see like a Jamal Crawford in the NBA who made a living off of that. Like,
but a six-man, And you've got to have a 6-7
mindset and coaching, man. You come off firing.
I've seen Nate play a lot of people this year.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of rotations. Okay. Now, guys are getting minutes. The Sears, Nelsons, Maury. Actually, I thought I was going to see more minutes. Maybe he's saving them a little bit, not burning them out early. I get it. Big guy. You don't want to wear them out in November and December, but I think those minutes will increase, though, come February and March. Foul trouble always plays a role, too, guys. That's always a tricky thing with foul trouble. Depends on when if you look at the box score, you're like, we only had 3 fouls. Yeah, well, if you got 2 in the first 2 minutes of the game, he sat on the bench the next 10. So it does matter, when they got the fouls, how quick they were to each other, because then a coach gets paranoid. And it depends on the coach, too, but Nate Oates is going to set you. Especially, you get him too quick. So I think those minutes will come up for him. We'll kind of put a button on this. Bama looked great last night, guys. I think Bama's going to move up, maybe 1 or 2 spots. Nothing crazy, but we're fine where we're at. I'm not going to panic on we need to be top 5 or we need to be, we're good where we're at. We're 10 right now.
It's not like college football where it even matters.
Yeah, we just need to keep winning and keep doing our thing, beat these good teams. We'll get the invitation to the tournament come March, and we just need to do our thing. We need to try to get a good seed and just do our thing. So put a button on that. Bama's back, baby. Basketball, I wouldn't say back, but it's back on this year. As you can see, this ain't a bluff year. Because some people will be like, oh, well, they made the Final Four last year. That was just Cinderella type stuff for Bama. You see this year, they beating Houston. That's a tough Rutgers team. They got some of the best players right now. If I'm not mistaken, on the draft lottery, they got 2 guys. They're going to be a lottery pick. Or was that Houston? Am I wrong?
Maybe Houston. Although Rutgers was top heavy. But to your point, you can't go to the Final Four and then drop off the next year, because that just affects all your momentum. That affects your recruiting. You can't, there is no year like that. You don't just want to drop off the next year.
Yeah.
You got to keep. I'm not saying we got to make the Final Four to make this successful, but I mean, anything less than Sweet 16, we're all going to be disappointed, right?
Yeah, so, I would say Elite 8.
Man, it's such a crapshoot. Go in a 1 or 2 seed and make a run. If something happens in the Sweet 16, hey, we were a 1 seed, 2 seed, crazy shit happened. What you don't want to do is drop off to be a 4 or 5 seed. Then you're like, okay, now we're starting to decline.
Yes,
exactly. You go in 1 or 2 seed,
Harper and Bailey,
but show that you've got the ability, even as that 1, 2 seed, that something happens in the Sweet 16 of a team that can win a national title. And I'd look, there's no doubt that team is. They fit that bill.
Right.
I agree. So, guys, button on that. Bama's there, baby. We looking good, guys. We'll kind of look ahead real quick for December this month. This is non-conference month. If you guys are unfamiliar with basketball and how it works, we play a bunch of non-conference games, and then you go on a terrace of your conference games. And then you'll get your tournaments and stuff at the end of the year, and you'll get all those non-conference games, matchups, crazy stuff happening. Bama has got a decent little setup right here. That's the guys I was talking about, right? Harper and Bailey. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the guys I was talking about. Yes. I knew there was, I just can't remember their names as well. But when they don't play for Bama. There's so many guys in basketball, but those guys are both really good. That wasn't no just easy Rutgers team either there. Houston was good too. So that's what I was alluding to, that Bama's playing some good opponents. But looking ahead right here, Bama has Creighton, North Dakota, Kent State, and South Dakota State. Those right there are going to be some good games. They just beat Kansas. What was it, last night?
Talking about that on
Creighton,
there, yep. Creighton just knocked off Kansas.
Was it last night, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, you
and
know,
not like a little fluke. They controlled that game.
No. Well, and look, yeah, don't ever look at if there's a ranking in a Creighton knows basketball. They play basketball in Creighton. That's their thing. They do it. They're not scared of that crimson when they come down. They're going to come down shooting and trying to, that'll be a hell of a match. That'll be a good test.
That's the one I'm most concerned. That's our next game. North Dakota, Kent State. We just got to show up for these games. South Dakota State. Those are the games we got to show up. Make sure we're not sleepwalking through those games. Let's play ball, guys. Let's build on this. Let's get some chemistry going before we get into this SEC play. Because once January hits, guys, and Petty alluded to this right before we got on, guys. I don't know if y'all know, SEC basketball is actually kind of good this year. Actually really good. Might be the best conference right now. A little early to call it, but
ACC's always been king, and the SEC just went the last 2 days and bent the king over to a tune of 14-2.
We talked about that. When they first made the SEC ACC challenge, it was terrible in our against us.
Yeah,
we
it was
why did we even decide to do this? Unless we were going to trade off, you beat us in basketball, we get to beat you in football. I didn't understand why we're doing it.
Yeah.
Now we're
I didn't either.
I mean, going.
Well, I think they traded it off. I think the SEC was like, hey, we're tired of this.
And yet none of the games were close. They were all 20, 30-point blowouts.
Yeah, and SEC came to play, and hey, that Auburn Kentucky team ain't bad either that lost.
No.
So, you know, Auburn might be arguably one of the best teams in the country. I hate to say that, but the truth is the truth, man.
And look, this Kentucky team's legit.
We're going to have to play
if your one loss is going to be going to Duke. You're
Bama basketball Iron Bowl is going to be held this year. Both of them.
It is.
That Bama Iron Bowl basketball is going to be – we're going to have a special show for that one. I got a buddy I work with. He's a basketball coach, huge Auburn fan. We're going to bring him on, and we're going to bring him on for the Iron Bowl both times.
Nice.
He is very smart too. Like, man, this guy knows basketball. He is he talks a lot at work, man. But
I'm not the biggest SEC guy, but this is where you kind of do want to be SEC because when we get to conference play and start to beat up on each other, it's not going to be RPI bombs all over the place because our RPIs are going to be so high. You can go in with five. I mean, I think the conference winners could have 5-6 losses this year. So
maybe more. Yeah, maybe more actually, Petty. Because but you're right. Somebody's gonna have to run the table somewhere and get going. But man, you're right, dude. This is gonna be a wild.
Well, to his point though, we're gonna beat up on each other much like football. So that's why it's gonna help, because you're gonna see a lot of. All right, this team, I may have lost 2 in a row over here just because, they went to Tennessee and then went to Bama. You're going to see a lot of that but the RPI is going to help you because, they lost 3-4 games in conference play, but look at who they lost them to.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
And you're going to be battle tested even better for the tournament. So
I agree. So, guys, that'll kind of wrap us up for
we had 2 questions from the fans.
Questions. Yes, yeah. My bad. I so forgot about the questions.
No, BT Trust. I'll let you go for them.
I heard might actually know this more than me right here. I heard about it last night.
Yeah, BT Trust. What do you think about young Youngblood?
No, I mean, my thing is, I hate that he's coming in so late because you're kind of getting a rhythm with what you got. So I think how he gets worked in these last couple non-conference games is really going to be the key with Youngblood. It's a talent, but you're already kind of getting defined roles with everybody. So I think that's going to be his biggest challenge. The best part about it, though, he doesn't have to work in quickly. So I think the book is still out on him, but I think we're going to enjoy what we see, but I don't think you're going to know very quickly what we're getting with Youngblood.
Great answer.
I agree. And they talked about him coming back soon, too, last night. So I think that's a good one.
I think you're in a position where you just don't have to rush him. I think that's
and man, he was a hell of a player at USF last year, man. Roger Ragsdale, who is Bama's MVP so far, guys?
Give me right now. Give
I'm
me
gonna go third.
Sears.
Okay.
I'm going Sears because of this. All those games I named in that tournament, Sears had 24 points in almost every single game. He had 17 last night. The man was from the free throw line, layups, threes, assists, rebounds. He's like the Milroe factor to this Bama team, in my opinion. When Milroe goes on football, Bama goes. I think when Sears goes, not saying they can't win without him. I mean, I think they can. They're really talented, but it just things like butter
makes everything
right now.
better. Yeah.
Give me Sears right now. I like Phylon a lot. A lot.
Hey, don't be stealing other people's answers.
A lot. I just like them a lot. Go ahead, Petty.
I think Phylon's what makes it even more exciting to watch right now. I'm not going to steal Herb's answer, but I think you do got to get Sears is the. I keep making the engine analogy. Well, man, he's the conductor. So I right now, you said it perfectly, JT. As Bama goes, Bama goes, and when he's doing what he did last night, this team is hell on wheels.
Yep, and boys balling.
Well, because you guys took that, and I heard a little file on there, I'm going to go a total different direction. I'm going to give it to Holloway, my guy off the bench, which you might probably say he should be your sixth man of the year instead of your MVP. But I like the steadying force off the bench. I feel like he's finishing a lot of games still anyway, despite not being a starter. The minutes are there, the shots are there. And I feel like that's the guy who, no matter what's going on in the game, he's going to kind of make it better when he gets off the bench. So I'm going to show Holloway a little love.
Am I the only one that's too old? When you say 6-man award, all I can think of it should be named after Detlef Shrimp, because I think he won it every year.
I remember Detlef. Yep.
Dude, he won 6-man of the year, I think 7 straight years for the Supersonics back in the Kemp Payton days.
Yep.
Yeah, so
no problem. BT. Thanks for asking it, buddy.
And I think that's something that that's going to be a good question to touch on in March, into March. April. That's gonna be really
I think your answer is going to be Sears then, but you're going to see how these other guys kind of step up and fill in. So like you said, he doesn't have to have 24 points a night for us to win. You know, he could take less shots, make more assists, and still be just fine on this team. So
I agree 100%. I think that's something we'll see. We'll see come March, guys. Real quick, before we end the show, guys, I'm going to shout everybody out real quick. Make sure we check us out on Monday night, Petty. Let the people know about your show, man, on Monday night.
Yeah, tell us about Monday nights, Petty.
Monday night, the opening kick. That's at 7 Central, where my boy Smoke just pisses everybody off, apparently. No,
yeah.
Smoke set the world on fire Monday night, but then Marvin just poured gasoline on it on Tuesday night. So, look, our former players have when you talk about the Bama standard, our former players have a different standard than the normal guy. So they sometimes see it a little different and tell you some things, some pills you don't want to see. But look, man, Smoke's always there spitting truth on Monday nights with me on the opening kick at 7 Central. Do not miss out. We're talking all college football and what's going on. We'll be talking about what's going on heading into the playoffs, what Bama's chances are as they come up. I think they're better than a lot of people. I've said it already, man. I want to see the Tide on that schedule. Nobody wanted to see them slip in. And then I promise nobody in South Bend, Indiana was really happy about seeing that slip in. But we're there on Monday nights. And then I'm back at you on Tuesday nights at 8 Central with the final whistle. Matt Caddell, Chris James, Lou Shine, Ty, the star of the Bama Standard, Dan James, the godfather of the show. And then I'm here with you guys. Then I'm here with you guys on Thursday nights, man, talking some Bama basketball, which if you ain't figured it out, I love Bama basketball. It's one of my hearts. So I'm very happy to be here with you guys on Thursday nights.
Nothing but the Tide.
Nothing but the Tide, baby.
Where can the people find you?
You see, my Twitter handle is usually up there, Raj Herb. You can see it on Twitter. I'm still calling it Twitter. It's always going to be Twitter to me. You can check out all the videos there. Herb and Raj podcast online. We do several different things there. We do our college football picks. We do Bama versus the world every week, where we talk about whatever football opponent we're talking about. And then we're also live Tuesday nights at 8. So if you're going to watch one show, you're going to watch the Bama Standard, of course. But if you decide to come check out a second show, come check us out afterwards. So and that was my brother on there, Roderick Ragsdale. We do our show together. So
okay, cool.
Yep. So that is us.
That's my man Herb, guys. I got a special announcement. I just checked to see your boy just hit. I don't know if you can see it. Just hit 200,000 followers. I just hit 200K on TikTok. Follow me, Roll Tide Nation. That is amazing.
How are we celebrating?
I don't know yet. I'm about to go talk with my wife. Probably eat some pizza. Definitely some pizza. I'm a pizza guy, man. I don't know what to say. But follow me, guys, on X, Twitter, whatever you call it. I am Jay Glaze. Got some fun stuff going on, guys. I'm here on Thursday nights, the host right here of Going Hard in the Paint for Bama Basketball. And then, guys, on Sunday night, we have Sunday Night Talking Bama. Special announcement, guys. We have a special guest, okay? Special guest. Luke Mertz coming on, 4-star linebacker. Just signed his deal with the Alabama Crimson Tide. He'll be our special guest Sunday, and we got a special show. I'm going to announce the time here soon, guys. We're not going to be Sunday night, actually, because of the selection show. We will move our show up. It's probably going to be about 12:45 or 11:45 Central Time, 12:45 Eastern Time. So we'll be going live kind of right after that. Petty, you are more than welcome probably to join us on that if you want to, man, to talk about the initial reactions to that, because the whole show's going to be based around that.
I'm with Van. Van, we're similar.
Van, that's the only internet.
Right there with you, Van.
I've been going hard on that one for a while now.
Me and Van are going to combine to take you down.
You come out Sunday night?
Yeah. Yes, but it'll be Sunday at 11:45 a.m.
Yeah.
Like,
if you invite, man, if I'm invited, I'll show up.
I'll text you. Herb, I'll probably get with you too, because I'm probably going to bring a couple different people on that show to talk about the schedule or the playoffs.
Hey, I'm always happy to be your second choice. Appreciate it.
Yeah, shut up. JB's going to be on with us too. So is Stephen M. Smith, and we'll have Luke on with us as well. He'll kind of be on first, and if he wants to hang out and talk about,
you need somebody to bring everybody drinks or something. I got you, man. It's cool.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, man. We'll see you guys, man. Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Yeah, if you're on Twitter X, come over. Bama Standard. Like, subscribe, give us love.
Like. Club.